Hey movie fans, the main characters of Knock at the Cabin are a same-sex couple, so it might be a turn-off for conservative audiences. But M. Night Shyamalan doesn't fail to entertain, making it something everyone can enjoy regardless of their political beliefs.
I completely forget that it's about a gay couple, honestly, and I just see it as a love story.
When we talk about so-called woke movies, we're talking about ones that portray straight men as weak, but not Dave Bautista's villain character here. He is stoic and calm under pressure, so it doesn't come across as hateful and divisive. And most importantly, the gay characters are well written, so you don't need to be gay to be able to relate to them and understand where they're coming from. It does portray a world that's unaccepting of homosexuality, but because it's entertaining from beginning to end, the little bitty preachiness in between isn't detrimental to the story. Aside from it being a rated R horror flick, Knock at the Cabin is a story about a family's struggle for acceptance in society. When Eric and Andrew adopted a baby, one of them had to pretend to be the other wife's brother, for fear that the hospital wouldn't let same-sex couples adopt. And there's a scene where Eric's parents drove 4 hours to visit, but only stayed for 30 minutes because they still couldn't accept their own son's sexual identity, even after so many years. Then one day, Dave Bautista and his crew break into the couple's cabin. It turns out that Eric and Andrew's family has been chosen to sacrifice one of their own, or an apocalypse will kill everyone. Everyone except them. Andrew thinks this was the weirdest bullshit he's ever heard, but if it's true that everyone in the world can die, then there'll be nobody left to discriminate against them. His family will then have the whole world for themselves. So go ahead.
Everyone in the world can die as far as we're concerned, am I right, Eric?
And so, Dave Bautista and his friends had to prove this apocalypse is real by committing suicide one at a time to unleash catastrophic events like a tsunami, a pandemic, and planes randomly falling from the sky. And they won't stop unless Eric kills Andrew or Andrew kills Eric. These catastrophic events were only seen on TV, so Andrew thinks Dave Bautista messed with their TV and played edited footage. But when they went out and saw an actual plane fall out of the sky, Eric and Andrew were convinced this is all legit. In the end, Dave Bautista killed himself. Then Eric and Andrew had a few minutes to decide whether one of them dies or everyone else dies. The couple could have been selfish and have the whole world for themselves, but that wasn't the life Eric wanted for his family. Earlier, he had a vision where his daughter had a successful career and a family of her own in the future, so Eric sacrifices himself and gave humanity a second chance. The ending isn't very confusing as the conflict resolved as they said it would. It's a movie that tells you what will happen and then it happens. The only twist and shock factor is when you find out that what's being shown on TV is real. But what's the deeper meaning and point in all of this? Knock at the Cabin explores the conflict between religion and progress. This is made clear at the beginning when Eric thinks they're being targeted by a homophobic religious cult. Now, this wasn't the first time M. Night Shyamalan explored that conflict between religion and progress. The Village was a story about parents who used religion and fear to isolate their children from the rest of the world, so they would grow up exactly just like them. They don't want anything to change. They hate progress. In my own interpretation, M. Night Shyamalan is trying to say that we humans have been fighting each other over our differences for as long as we've been around. May it be differences in race, gender, or religion. And one day, that conflict might escalate into an apocalypse of our own doing. If you enjoyed that video, consider subscribing and see you again next time. Thanks for watching.